If you've got mason jars on hand with the lids, and you've got one of those big stock pots, you can take the big stock pot. Stanley's going to eat our microphone.
You're going to hear him snoring in a
minute. You can take a big stock pot, set it over top of an open fire, on a grill, whatever you've got, and stuff all of your meats in those jars. Put a little bit of water over top of them. Put the lids on them. Set them in that water bath. Fill it halfway full of water. Cook that 3 hours. Doesn't matter what kind of meat. 3 hours is how long you would boil that water in a water bath. And your food is preserved. Your meats and stuff in your freezer are not lost. That's a crucial thing to know how to do, so that you're not losing all your meat and your foods, and just your first 2 or 3 days you're eating like kings because you're trying to cook up all that freezer food. Yep. So it don't go to waste, right? That's a really good one. What else we got? Let me look at our list. Oh, first aid basics. First aid basics are very, very important. Mm-hmm. Anybody that's on any kind of medication needs to have a stockpile of medicine, at least a month's worth stockpiled if possible, or herbal alternatives to that. And you can do your research on that, or you can actually message me or email me, and I will help you to figure those things out, because I'm kind of the herb lady. That's sort of my gig. Nobody around here goes to doctors usually, but if you do, definitely have your medications on hand. A sling and a tourniquet also are very important things to have in your bug out bag, because you never know what's going to happen. And if you don't have a way to deal with that broken bone, or to shut off the blood to something that's been damaged, you could really be like in a life or death situation. So you need to know how to do that and have the tourniquet and the sling on hand. What else? Also, I recommend a package of stop bleed. For anybody that doesn't know how to pack a wound with sugar or mud, have a package of stop bleed on hand. You can get it at Walmart for way cheap. It's like $2 or $3 for a package of it. Have at least one package of that on hand, because that'll keep somebody from bleeding to death if they got, an open wound or whatever. And of course, your basic things like Band-Aids and Neosporin or alcohol, those kind of things. But also butterfly bandages, because again, if you've got an open wound, you want that sucker closed as fast as possible. So butterfly bandages are good to have on hand, and they're, again, you can get a box of them for real cheap, for a couple of bucks if you don't have them in your medicine cabinet. What are some other good things to make sure you have? Well, okay, here's the most important thing to me. Mentally prepared. And knowing how to walk in faith of who you are, and that God's got this. Because even in the most terrible of times, with people facing a hurricane and loss of their home and loss of their livelihood, and sometimes loss of family members' lives, God has a plan, and we have to walk in that faith. That something is there for us in that, and that's why we survived it. So walk in that faith of God, and walk in that faith of self, because guys, there's a lot of earth changes coming at us. These hurricanes we've been seeing in the past couple of weeks are just the beginning, and most of the American public doesn't even realize that this is something that's going on worldwide. This isn't just inclusive to America right now. This is happening worldwide. They just don't show us. They're not telling it. And we won't get into the why, but they're not telling it. So this is just the beginning. And the bottom line here is to be mentally prepared first, and also to be physically prepared, right? Have your provisions in place for 3 days to a week, or a month if possible. Have a plan. Have a plan. Have a family plan. And be strong in yourself, and know yourself, because that's where it's really at. Know that you are more powerful than you've ever been told that you are. I mean, time and time again throughout history, human nature and willpower has proven that. Old men who can pick up a tractor and get their little grandchild out from underneath of it. You know, we can do amazing feats when we have the will. There's always a way. And that's because we are more than we've been taught.
Mm-hmm.
So walk in that faith first and foremost instead of fear. We do have lots of challenging times coming toward us. But just like this hurricane that was supposed to be the most devastating in over a century to hit Florida, we've proven with our faith and our will to protect them and our prayers, you know, because it wasn't just inclusive to us. This is everyone that's focused on this, that's praying for them and putting their intention into saving them and sparing them the damage that has saved them. This is an amazing example and practice for you to take forth and realize really, truly how important and how powerful and how beautiful you really are. So be prepared. Walk in faith instead of fear. We're going to be coming to you with a lot more videos like this and other videos, because we're still going to do fun and interesting topics that other people don't dare to talk about. But we want you to be on the ready as well, you know. So with that being said, I'm going to let Missy say what she wants to say, and then
I was just going to say for everyone out there just to be safe and be blessed.
Absolutely. Amen. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you again on the next episode.